Hey everyone, my name is Rob. Welcome to my YouTube channel called The Movie Vault. Let's talk about movies. Hey everyone, great to see you back here once again on another episode of the Watchlist. I have a pile of stuff off screen here to talk to you guys about what I've been watching over the last couple of weeks, kind of leading up to just be about a week before Christmas is kind of when I've compiled this watch list for you guys, just to give you guys an idea of where I am in terms of a timeline or whatever of watching stuff. So yeah, let's just get into it. First one here, this is a DVD I bought in the secondhand shop deals over here. I got this for £2. This is, what year is this movie? In the 2000s, I believe. It's not going to tell me here, or it is 2003. Identity, fantastic movie here. Who directed this? James Mangold directed this. Big fan of Cusack. John Cusack's in here. Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet, Alfred Molina, Clea Duvall, and Rebecca De Mornay in this one. Really awesome DVD. Like the artwork here in the front. There's the back. There's a couple of special features on this actually, and what was really interesting was this DVD, when I stuck it into the player, there's two versions of the movie on this, and I don't even believe it's not even on it as a bonus feature. There's like an extended cut or a director's cut of the movie, and just the regular edition as well, just the DVD inside. Nothing special to talk about there, but yeah, fantastic movie. And I did see this years ago, and you know, big fan of Cusack, as I just said there. I really like his work as an actor, and I completely forgot the twist in this, which is really, really cool. So watching it again is really interesting. If you haven't seen Identity, I do recommend checking this one out. Really, really great movie. Next one up, I did not like so much, and I know this is kind of beloved by a lot of people, so this may kind of piss some people off, but I'm just being honest with these videos here. So when was this released? This is originally a 1974 movie, and this was released in 2004, so I bought this set like way back in 2004, never ever watched it. This is Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and I thought this was a terrible movie. Did not enjoy it at all. This is an old collector's edition DVD, so I'll just kind of try and show you guys really quick here. It kind of opens up and get some kind of cool stuff in here. There's the screenplay book. There is one of those replica film kind of frame things there. It's kind of hard to see. And there is a bunch of like stills, postcards, kind of still sealed. And then you get the 2 discs DVD in there. I bought this, and I bought Life of Brian is in a kind of a similar, kind of a grey box set like this. As I said, I bought them way back in 2004, and they just kind of sat on the shelf, and the whole point of the watch list here is to try and get through watching my movies that I bought and never watched, and kind of tell you guys what I think along the way. And yeah, just Monty Python wasn't for me. Just too much silliness going on, and I guess that's, you know, that's what they're all about really, isn't it? And it's just not for me at all. That's not to say some of you guys might not love the movie, but Monty Python and the Holy Grail, no, a bit too silly for my liking. That was the next one up I watched. Following movie I did really enjoy. This was a first time watch for me, delving back into that Kubrick box set. This is 2001 A Space Odyssey in 4K. Hopefully you kind of see there with the light, it has that nice packaging again. And there's the back. I did not delve into any special features. There is the 4K disc and the 2 Blu-ray discs in here as well. Yeah, fantastic movie. Never ever saw it. I had it on DVD in the old white Kubrick collection DVD release, and just never watched it, never got around to it. And I watched Barry Lyndon in the last watch list, and I kind of thought I'm going to check out 2001 in 4K. It looks absolutely amazing. The 4K on this is fantastic. This was this used an 8K digital intermediate to go to the 4K disc. I spoke about all that in the video before, you guys have probably seen. So yeah, really interesting. 2001, really liked it. So kind of going into this, I kind of, you know, I knew a little bit about it, and there's a lot of kind of, I guess, like people on the fence are kind of, you know, you're either side, where it's like 2001 is the greatest movie ever, or Kubrick is so pretentious and this is a load of nonsense. And I can kind of see the argument from that side a little bit. I mean, the whole kind of beginning and the end is sort of, you know, maybe leans on the pretentious side of Kubrick, but the whole, like, everything on the Space Odyssey, like the spaceship, HAL, all that sort of stuff, that's really cool, and really interesting movie that's kind of bookended by 2 interesting, a beginning and an end as well, to kind of say the least. But yeah, 2001 in 4K, highly recommend checking that out if you haven't seen that before. Next one up, Arrow video release. I picked this up in the sale early on this year. I have a DVD and I upgraded to the Blu-ray headers. Big fan of Winona Ryder. We have another Winona film here. This is the special edition headers with the slip and reversible sleeve art. I like to switch that around to have it different from the slip. Yeah, Christian Slater is in this, and greetings and salutations. He's hilarious in this. Big fan of Winona Ryder. Who directed this? Michael Lehman. Who else do we have in here? Shannon Doherty's in there as well. Yeah, really interesting movie. If you haven't seen Headers, I do recommend checking that one out as well. Big fan of this one. 1988 was it? I want to say this was. I can't find a year on it. Yeah, it's escaped me. It's in the 80s anyway. Headers, and that's that nice Arrow release there that we like. I kind of done a bit of a Winona double the same day I watched both of these. I picked this one up in work. Again, first time watch, didn't have it, never saw it. Again, Winona. This is Great Balls of Fire, the Jerry Lee Lewis movie. This is a MGM release. It has the slip cover here. Inside we have different artwork, really nice Blu-ray. Yeah, basically the life story of Jerry Lee Lewis, which is kind of interesting. I know of him, I know the kind of story behind this. So Dennis Quaid plays Jerry Lee Lewis, Winona Ryder plays his cousin, who he does marry. In real life that happened as well. Alec Baldwin is in here as well, directed by Jim McBride. Who else do we have in here? No other cast in here. Yeah, it's a really interesting movie. Story of Jerry Lee Lewis is quite interesting in any way. I just kind of thought, like, I liked Winona Ryder in it. Big fan of hers, as I mentioned. Dennis Quaid, he's a little bit too over the top in this role, I feel, and like maybe that's how Jerry Lee Lewis was, but he's a bit too cheesy, a bit too hammy, if that makes sense, you know, in his portrayal in the movie. You know, you can kind of see some, I don't know, you can see some pictures of him on the back here. Yeah, he's just a little bit too much for me in this movie. But yeah, did enjoy the movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Great Balls of Fire. Next one up, again, I was still on a kind of a bit of a Winona fest kind of going on. This is a movie from the 2000s, I want to say. I can't spot a year on this. You can never spot the year when you want to talk about the year it was released. It's a Buena Vista release. I picked this up because Winona Ryder was in it. I picked this up many years ago. Again, never watched it. It was up on the shelves, kind of sitting there. This is directed by Woody Allen, Celebrity. This was a great movie. I really enjoyed this. Black and white as well. Really interesting. Huge cast, and Winona Ryder's not even in it that much. She maybe has two, three scenes. Just to give you guys an idea, cast, a fantastic cast. Hank Azaria, Kenneth Branagh, Judy Davis, Leonardo DiCaprio, Melanie Griffith, Famke Janssen, Michael Lerner, Joe Mantegna, Bebe Neuwirth, Winona Ryder, and Charlize Theron. Directed by Woody Allen. I don't have a lot of Woody Allen movies, but I enjoyed this one. Really interesting, in black and white. Looked really cool. It's kind of like a lot of stories kind of interconnected through Kenneth Branagh's character, which is really interesting. Very well done, Woody Allen. Next one up there, Celebrity. Next one, I tweeted about this Blu-ray. I firmly believe this is Natalie Portman at her finest. Jackie. Fantastic movie. The Fantastic Fest counter is probably like ding going off. She's unreal in this movie. I really like it. This was recently, I think this was shot in 2017. I think this was shot on 16mm as well, so you know, to kind of give it the real filmy look. Really interesting. It's basically about Jackie Kennedy in the aftermath of JFK and the assassination, and it's a fantastic movie, and I really can't highly recommend it. Pablo Larraín is the director of this one, and as I said, Natalie Portman is just unreal in this. If you haven't seen this one, I do highly recommend checking out Jackie. Next one up, I got in that haul that I picked up in October. That my friend Colin got for me. This is a DVD in a slip. Hail Caesar, written and directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. Slip comes off. There's not much to talk about there. This one interested me because Scarlett Johansson's in there. I'm a fan of Scarlett Johansson's work, and there's a pretty good cast in this. Josh Brolin plays the main kind of character. George Clooney. Ray Fiennes, Jonah Hill, Scarlett Johansson, Frances McDormand, Tilda Swinton, Channing Tatum is in there as well. And we're going to kind of get a year on this for you guys. 2016, Hail Caesar. Basically plays like a studio head kind of guy who is Josh Brolin's character, and the troubles he kind of encounters, you know, in a day or whatever. I think it's called Studio Fixer is kind of what's mentioned here on the cover. Yeah, really, really interesting. Scarlett Johansson's literally in it for maybe 2 scenes, and she's like kind of like a bit part player in it, if that's, you know, fair to say. But yeah, interesting movie here by the Coens, Hail Caesar. George Clooney is quite kind of funny in it as well. Next one up, I picked up from the shop and work. Sport documentary, may not be of interest to a lot of people outside of England and Ireland. This is Finding Jack Charlton, the documentary about the legend that is Jack Charlton. You know, English hero, Irish legend there on the cover. So if you're not familiar, Jack Charlton was a footballer from England. He won the World Cup with England '66, and he later became the manager of the Republic of Ireland football team. You know, during the troubles and all that kind of going on. So it was a really interesting kind of time. Yeah, it's a really interesting documentary because Jack suffered from dementia, you know, towards the end of him passing away, and his brother, who you may also know, Sir Bobby Charlton, also a famous England World Cup winner and Manchester United footballer as well, was his younger brother, and he also has dementia. And it's kind of a whole, they're looking at dementia as a whole thing for like footballers and heading the ball and stuff. It's a whole kind of ongoing thing. But if you're interested in football, or you know, or Ireland or England football, or Ireland or Irish or English football, I should say, Finding Jack Charlton is a fantastic documentary on Blu-ray here. Really, really interesting. Same day I picked that one up, I did pick this one up. This is Criterion Spine number 1058. It's The Irishman. What a fantastic movie this was. Scorsese, De Niro, Pacino, Pesci. Oh man, what a movie. 209 minutes. It is quite long if you're not into long movies. I didn't feel it was long watching it, if that makes sense. It kind of held my interest anyway for the time. It's one of these Criterions that slips open, and the book I Heard You Paint Houses is in there, and we get, I'll just give you guys a look. It's a 2-disc Blu-ray here. I'm not too sure if there's a 4K this coming at some point. Possibly. Criterion, as I spoke before in my video about Criterion releases, this is coming off of a 4K master, so looks fantastic on my 4K setup here. And yeah, really, really, really great movie. Highly recommend if you haven't checked out The Irishman. A little bit pricey on Criterion because it's a 2-disc, but you know, that's how it is with Criterion. Last one up for this episode of the Watchlist, guys. I picked up the, what is this, like a limited release, or I done an unboxing this on the channel. It's the 4K Tremors, the Arrow, the box set, the hard box set. We get all the stuff inside the 4K. I have watched this. Tremors is an awesome movie. I remember from being a kind of kid, you know, Fred Ward, Kevin Bacon, Ariane Richards is in there as well, who I only kind of recently realised, you know, is from Jurassic Park as well. I don't know how I kind of missed that, but yeah, 4K looks fantastic on this. Watched it a couple of nights back there, and I will say there's a couple of scenes with the graboids kind of going through the ground. It feels a little over grainy, and I'm all for the grain. I like the film grain in these 4K restorations, but yeah, I could see where that might kind of frustrate some people. Just 1 or 2 scenes, everything else looked fine. I believe there was like a DTS audio track, yeah, 5.1 audio track DTS on this one. Yeah, I know a lot of people are having issue getting a hold of this as of the day I'm making this video. It's been out about a week, and HMV and stuff, a lot of places in the UK are out of stock. I did get a hold of a 4K, and I think Amazon sold out. But yeah, that was the last one up in this kind of watchlist pile for you guys, Tremors 4K. That's going to do it for this one, and of course, if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell to get notified every time I post a new video. You may be interested in signing up for my Patreon if you want to see exclusive videos and stuff that's not here on the main channel. Links are in the description to that every video, guys. And I'm going to leave some videos on screen here and here for you to check out, you might be interested in. Thanks for watching as always, and I hope to see you on the next video.